build. Hopefully I'll make a little bit of cash on the other end. Now what better way to start than a quick walk around? To be honest, cosmetically the truck is not too bad. As you can see a little bit, and we'll go into more detail later, it does have some sunspots on the hood and roof, which is hardly unexpected for a truck this old. Honestly though, no major dents, a couple scratches and stuff here and there. But I mean, overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. Now another thing worth noting is that the bed on it could be a lot better. Yeah, we've got a lot of scratches, dings, dents, and whatnot, but I mean, it's a truck. It's been used for what it was built for. But all things considered, aside from some interesting cosmetic choices, I've got to say I'm pretty excited about the way this truck looks already. Now, in case you guys weren't aware, these trucks are not turbo equipped, and they do not have working air vents. So these little additions I'm planning to take off really add to the look. Here's a closer look at some of that weathering on the hood. As you can see, it's got some residue left over from what looks like a set of stickers or a hood scoop or something like that. A little bit more of a look at that peeling clear coat. What a shame. A little bit more look at the roof. I'm hoping to see what I can do about reapplying clear coat and polishing it to see if we can make it look a little better. And truck bed wise, I mean, it's a used work truck, all right. Some bigger dents like that up there, but I mean, all in all, it's something I can work with. My big plan for the back, at least, is to put a new layer of bed liner in to make it look a little bit better and more functional. Also planning to take these hooks off because they don't really do a whole lot. Now another thing that's actually quite nice on this truck are the rims. They're Velocity brand, not necessarily my style. I don't know how well they really go with the truck. But I mean, they are some pretty nice high quality rims. So I gotta say, they're starting to grow on me. And plus these tires were all shined up when I had gotten it. I might have driven them a little bit here and there, but I mean, I was excited because I thought these might be Pirellis. Turns out they're just some obscure off-brand. I think it says Sunny's tires. But they're street tires and they grip the road pretty well even in the rain, so I've been really happy about that too. The front does have one of those neat little, I think they're called what, bug catchers or something like that, bug shields. A nice chrome Stampede shield or whatever it is. Headlights are yellowing a little bit, but that's pretty easy to buff out, so I'm not particularly worried about that, and I already checked all the lights work, which is a plus. Now, down here we do have a little bit of a dip. That's not something I can hammer out. But down here especially, you know, on this lower part of the bumper, it does have a lot of chips and flecks in it, so more than likely when I end up bed lining the back, I might just throw a layer of bed liner on that. I don't think it'll look too bad having the black with the chrome on it. Now under the hood, we have ourselves a nice little 4.6 liter V8. And honestly, the engine bay, I mean, it's maybe a little dirty, but there was really nothing wrong with it aside from one little detail I'll get to later. But everything down to the coolant levels and the power steering fluid and brake fluid, we're at good levels. They got an oil change in the last 2,000 miles, and I even got a brand new battery and threw some new terminals on it. So honestly, running and driving is a strong suit for this truck, which is surprising considering how cheap it was, but it's a strong running truck, and man does it sound good. Now we get to the interior. Yeah, I kind of had that same reaction when I looked in. I was a little worried, especially considering that it's got these seat covers on them, and God knows what sits underneath that. And I haven't taken them out yet because I wanted this video to show exactly how I got this truck pretty much, but something that surprised me is that even on this cover right here, and I pulled them both back to check, the seats are really not in that bad a condition. I mean, you know, tiny tears and stuff, but nothing horribly torn or damaged or anything like that. And the same is true of the floors, at least in the front, because under these mats, it's really not looking too bad. They're a little worn, but you know, what more could you ask for? Door panels are pretty solid. Everything works except the power locks. They just kind of click and don't do anything, which is unfortunate. But honestly, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's a cool little truck. Now, I haven't explored a lot in the back. One major point to note is that we are missing an interior door panel, and I'll show you exactly why it's missing it later. But another thing I noticed is this carpet doesn't quite match the carpet in the front. Well, that's because by the looks of it, the previous owner had just put down interior house carpeting in the back. So I am a little worried about pulling that up and seeing what's laying underneath, but fingers crossed it's not too bad. Now here's a look with the truck on. One thing you'll notice is that the odometer is not currently on, and apparently it's a pretty common issue in these older F-150s that the odometer will kind of go in and out, but as it sits, it has 214,000 miles. Now keep in mind, this truck is 20 years old, so that means there was only around 10,000 miles on this truck per year, which really isn't too bad. And I got an air freshener. Now it's got one of these cool little head units in it too, which actually plays pretty well. And the previous owner even put a little speaker up here that is surprisingly decent. So it makes driving a little bit more pleasant. Now, it is summertime almost in Texas, and AC is rather important, and sadly, the AC blows. It does not blow cold. Actually, surprisingly, it doesn't feel too bad right now. But especially once the truck is warmed up and it's driving on the road, it just kind of blasts you with hot air, which is not particularly nice. Now, there are some little issues on the interior. You know, you have these little chips, especially over here, you know, these little flecks of this paint that is missing. And honestly, I just plan to respray this dash to make it look a little bit better. But, you know, no major cracks, even up here, no major damage in sight, which is pleasant. And there's a surprising amount of room in the back too, which is quite nice. Another problem with this truck, and another reason I haven't looked a lot around the back, is that these little side door hinges don't particularly work, which is unfortunate. At least on the other side, it explains why they took that whole interior panel off to begin with. You can finagle it a little bit just by reaching on in here, grabbing on these two cables, and magic. And here we have the back seats. It's a surprising amount of room too, which is kind of nice. But as you can see, it's literally just house carpet. Is that mold? I hope that's not mold. Oh boy. I guess we'll see how nice it is after I check the back. But I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting a lot from the interior, and it's already surpassed a lot of my expectations. So I am still happy with it. And of course, right as I put it in park, odometer is back on. You know, it's really not bad. I mean, like 10,000 miles a year in a truck like this it's pretty manageable. And I checked the Carfax on it. It's got 3 previous owners, no major incidents or anything like that. So, I mean, it really is a decent truck. Now, inside, as you'll notice, this looks good. This mirror is a little bit messed up, so I'm hoping I can go to one of those pull-apart places and get a new one. Another slight problem, easy fix, is that these windows look like they have some of that do-it-yourself tint stuff, and they were not particularly good at doing it themselves. So, especially on the other side, you can see it's got all sorts of bubbles and creases in it. So, that's going to be pretty quick to come off. Not particularly a fan of that. And now for what I would argue is one of the coolest points of this truck. Check this out. It's got custom exhaust, and with the V8 it actually doesn't sound too bad. I'm a fan. Now this truck really does drive quite nicely. I mean, here I'm going over some gravel and it's reasonably smooth. Even on the roads, I mean, it's a little underpowered, but it's a truck. And it does sound quite nice as it's going. That is pretty cool. Wow. That. I mean, for a 20-year-old pickup, I mean, that's pretty darn good, and especially the exhaust. It is surprisingly fun to drive. Wow. All right. But even just on normal roads and stuff like that, I mean, the brakes are good. They had the brakes changed about 10,000 miles ago, so it stops quite well. I mean, everything works in it. You know, it's got blinkers and lights and whatnot, all the things you need to be legal. Yeah, I mean, it's just a pleasant truck to drive. It's not particularly heavy. There's not a ton of play in the steering either. It's an F-150. Now, I am a little bit biased. I am a bigger fan of Chevy and Dodge, but this is the first Ford I've ever owned. But I've got to say, I am pretty pleased with it. And I mean, it's an older truck, and it still handles and feels like some of the newer Fords and Silverados that we get in our inventory. So, you know, it's a blast, man. I'm enjoying this truck. Well, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully the next one I'll have done a little bit of work on it and give you guys an update. But really excited about this truck. I feel like it's going to be a fun project. It's a solid truck as is, so you know, I'm excited to see how much better I can make it look. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, even though this channel is just starting, and we'll see what happens with it. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. Hope you enjoyed.